Hello Internet, welcome to another Pokemon TCG Online deck profile. Today we are going to be doing this very cool rainbow deck from the new Breakthrough set. Has a lot of fun capabilities, a lot of flexibility, catches your opponent off guard, and it's just pretty cool new style. Its main attacker, the one that we're going to be focusing on, is Xerneas with the Rainbow Force attack. This attack does 30 more damage for each different type of Pokemon on your bench, for a fairy and a double colorless. So, as you can tell, what we're going to be doing is we're going to get as many different types of Pokemon on our bench as possible, and hit for big hits like 190, 220 at times if everything's going really smoothly. And it does it pretty quickly and can be very devastating. So really fun. I'm liking this. To go with this, have synergy since we are using double colorlesses. We're also going to be using a Raichu. It gives us the lightning type that we need to give us more types on our bench. And it has the circle circuit attack. You know, this attack does 20 damage for every Pokemon on your bench. So that actually goes perfectly hand in hand with the Xerneas. Doesn't hit as hard as the Xerneas, but it's one energy drop as opposed to two, and it solves two purposes. Gives us a lightning type, and it can give us a backup attacker. We also have another attacker that can utilize the double colorless, which is the Zoroark from the new Breakthrough set. Once during your turn, if this Pokemon was on your bench, you may switch this Pokemon with your active Pokemon. That's that stand-in ability, or otherwise rush-in, as you guys who've played Keldeo know. So that's very handy. You can be on your bench, you stand in, and then uses Mind Jack. This is basically that Rainbow Force, but it's for your opponent's bench. This attack does 30 more damage for each of your opponent's bench Pokemon. So he can hit very hard as well, and only for a double colorless, and he gives us the Dark. And for our final attacker, we're going to be using the Vespiquen. This is a leaf type, so it gives us leaf, and it also attacks for, hey, there it is again, double colorless, with the Be Revenge. So I'm sure you guys have seen this if you've been playing Pokemon at all recently. This does 10 more damage for each Pokemon in your discard pile. Now this one is not as intuitive of an attacker as the Raichu and the Zoroark for us, but since we are running a total of 24 Pokemon, it can hit pretty big depending on what stage we are in the game, and if nothing else, it gives us a leaf type. So it kind of serves that purpose as well. Now for our support Pokemon, we're going to be running the Dodrio for our colorless. As long as this Pokemon is on your bench, your active as a Pokemon retreat cost is 2 energy less. So basically that's going to give everyone free retreat if we have him on the bench. So very cool ability, works great in this deck. We already had 2 guys who naturally have free retreat, in the Vespiquen and the Raichu, but now everyone can, so that helps out a lot. Another Pokemon that's very good in this deck is Ninetales. We get the fire type, and then its ability Barrier Shrine. Each player can't play any stadium cards from his or her hand. So the problem with decks like the Raichus and the Xerneas that need to fill up the bench is you fill it up with Skyfield, but then what happens is your opponent then breaks the Skyfield, and then you end up losing at least 3 Pokemon, and then it cuts the field back down to 5. So what Ninetales helps us do is keep that stadium up there, thus keeping us with as many attackers as possible. So that's really cool, and he gives us the fires. So everyone kind of has their function, and they all kind of help out each other. So now we have the Psychic, and we have the Bandit, one Pokemon that you probably don't see played much, if at all. And we're using him for his Tool Concealment ability. Each Pokemon tool and card has no effect. So, along with going with the Psychic, the Tool Concealment can actually be pretty devastating for your opponent. I mean, the muscle band, cutting out muscle bands can hurt, because they might need an extra 20 to get a kill. But more importantly is shutting off Spirit Links. If your opponent puts on a Spirit Link and then you put down the Bandit, they haven't evolved, they're going to lose their turn if they evolve, so it's going to really slow down their whole plan and strategy. So I really like them for that. And our final Pokemon is Water type, and it is the Octillery with Abyssal Hand. Now once during your turn, you may draw cards until you have 5 cards in hand. So you may notice that we don't have any Shaman EXs in this deck. We don't have any EXs. So it's really important to get this Octillery out if at all possible. So we're going to be focusing on that. And another kind of interesting thing that I want to show about my build here is all the types, except for the Xerneas, because it's just a basic, they all are a 2-1 line. So we have the 2-1 Dodrio, 2-1 Zoroark, 2-1 Ninetales, and so on. So it's very, you know, it can be hit or miss depending on what you're going to get, but the flexibility of having different attackers depending on the stadium and field kind of makes it work. It's weird. You know, it like allows it to work somehow. There are going to be times where certain things are going to be prized since we are only running one of the stage 1s, but you just got to kind of be flexible and go with the flow and try to pull out your victories either way. Hopefully the artillery is not prized, because drawing can be an issue, so we really want to make sure we get him out. For our trainer cards, we're using 1 escape rope since we do have free retreats for most people, so that can help bring out something on their bench and then bring our guy back into the forefront, or use the Zoroark stand-in ability. You also have 2 Evil Sodas. It just helps us get out these stage 1s, and it can grab the Zoroark, because the level ball would be a little bit better since it kind of puts it to your hand in case you haven't, you know, it's turn 1 or something. But the level ball cannot grab the Zoroark, so I put in a couple Evil Sodas as well. Now we're going to be using 1 Sacred Ash because we have a lot of Pokemon, and if the stage 1s get in the grave, we want to pull them out. And we have 2 Ultra Ball and 3 Versa Seekers for our supporters. Now, speaking of supporters, we have 1 Bridget, and we're going to be using Bridget for the put 3 basic Pokemon onto your bench. So that's actually pretty darn good in this deck. Not that great in others, but I like it here. It can really speed things up for you. Running 1 Lysander, 2 Professor Birch, 4 Sycamore, of course. Hopefully we can start off with the Sycamore, make sure we get a couple energies in our hand to start things off quickly. And 2 Shauna. The stadium, as I mentioned, is the Sky Field. Kind of fill our bench up really big to do some big hits. And for our energies, we're running 4 double colorless and 6 fairy. So that is the deck. Let's go see how it plays on Pokemon TCG Online. So can catch people off guard. This Rainbow Guard, Renly's Rainbow Guard, for those of you who watch Game of Thrones. And yeah, let's see what we can do, if we can do some damage. Yes, let us get into the first battle. Who's going to be the first victim? X-Shadow. And he is calling the coin flip. Cool. I'm glad it didn't last for a long time. Sometimes the coin flip just goes forever. I feel like people still aren't used to the new system and layout of the game, and they won't realize that they have to go in and click stuff while it's doing all this nonsense. So there, cool. We got a few basics to start off with, which is good. Like to see that, and a couple energies, which is also really good. It would be perfect if we had a Xerneas, so we could start putting down this rainbow color, but since we don't, we'll probably end up using the double colorless on these Zora, since he can also attack pretty strongly indeed. And so it looks like we're playing against the, I'm not sure if this was the Mewtwo EX or Mega EX, the fighting type one that's really big. So we'll see how we can hang with them. Cool. And they end there. Ah, the Octilleries. Octillery is actually good. Now, I guess what we're going to do, I kind of don't want to get rid of this Octillery, so I think we're not even going to put the double colorless there. We're not even going to use this Birch, actually. I really want to get that Octillery on the field, since there's only one. So we will stop like that. Use the Octillery, draw probably 3, and then use the Birch to draw 4 or 7. So that's also a nice little combo, to use the Octillery and then use like the Birch or Shauna. Since you're not getting rid of cards, and doesn't matter how many cards you have, you shuffle them and start all over again. It kind of really maximizes the amount of cards that you're looking at. Alright, here, so we see what he can do, the Photon Wave. He'll take less damage, but he won't kill our Combi. And unfortunately knocks off the double colorless. Well, that's a bummer. That's right, we still have 3 more of those bad boys. And our opponent hopefully won't be drawing a lot, so if it caused him to be slowed down, then maybe that's an okay thing. Let's see, what is this? Yeah, Spirit Link. So at least it's not a muscle band. So our Combi survives the turn. And we see another level ball. I guess I'll go ahead and grab that. To see what we have for the stage 1s, we have the Bannet. We do not have the Raichu. We have the Vespiquen. And we have the Dodrio. So I don't know if we want to... Yeah, I guess we'll get the Vespiquen. Gives us free retreat depending on what we draw. And minimizes our hand as well. So I'm going to save this fairy energy because we'd like to put it on the Xerneas. Alright, Abyssal Hand. Get an Ultra Ball of some kind. Nope. We do get the Pichu though, and I guess we'll go with the Shauna, the safer bet, since we aren't in a hurry just yet. There's the Zoroark. The Dodrio giving us free retreat, which we would have had anyways. Now, what we can do, I'm going to go ahead and put the energy on Vespiquen and do this intelligence gathering. Because really want to get things going with our Xerneas, if at all possible. That's interesting. We see another Psychic go down, so our opponent can do his what is that? Cyburn, but he can't do his main Mega attack yet because it needs 2 strong energies. But I'm sure he doesn't mind getting the kill and the next turn going Mega and then doing more damage. Nothing he's too worried about. I think we're going to have to use this Sacred Ash next turn just to kind of free our hand up, and we'll probably end up using the Evo Soda. We can't hit anything, but it's just to free our hand for this Octillery to try to see if we can draw some sort of supporter card. Opponent slowly going. There's the Mega Evolution, and he can't attack yet. He doesn't have his energy things figured out. So it might have been a big mistake from our opponent, which we will thus have to capitalize off of. Let's see if we see our opponent's going for the Sycamore. Let's see what he discards. So it's another strong energy. Oh, so a couple energies. Yeah, he had a lot of energies in his hand. Well, at least we get a Stay of Execution. Let's give us an extra turn. See our opponent evolve again. So basically this Bandit's not going to really come into play since he already got those things down. Now we're seeing another Pikachu. Evil Soda, likewise, there's nothing to grab. Now, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to utilize that Sacred Ash. We're only going to be able to draw 1. Let's see, is this the magical 1 card? Oh, it's actually pretty darn good. Now, the question is, do we want to start doing damage? Probably, because our opponent's going to have to get a strong energy, and he may not have it. So let's start putting in the pressure. In Zoroark, use Mind Jack. Now we'll see if our opponent grabs a strong energy. If he doesn't, he will not be able to attack with this Mega Mewtwo. And that one went Mega as well, so that's going to take a lot of energies to boost up. We don't have any Pokemon in our discard pile just yet. So yeah, like the Vespiquen is better for late game. But, you know, I do like the, you know, the ability to free retreat. The intelligence gathering actually helped out. So that was actually kind of a cool little play for us. And it might come in handy as well next turn. Just waiting to see if our opponent has the strong energy. Found it kind of interesting when he put the second psychic on earlier. But he probably has it, some sort of draw card or a Mega Turbo, I would imagine. He dropped another energy, so yeah, you gotta think he has a Mega Turbo. Or is going to be searching for a Mega Turbo. Oh, Skyla for a Mega Turbo. Most likely. Which is actually a pretty nice, neat play. But I mean, you got to feel like if we can take this guy down, he doesn't really have anything else. We just weren't able to grab a Sycamore. Which is unfortunate. Run 4, but haven't been able to see it yet. There you go, that's it. And another reason why that's not that scary of a deal is, you know, that is only one prize card. So, we're not too worried about that. Guess we can go ahead and start beefing up Pikachu. Go ahead and get those Pokemon back in the deck and see if this Octillery can give us with a nice draw. Some sort of supporter. Lovely. And yes, we're definitely going to use that escape rope. We have... Let's see. Bring out the Pikachu and Sycamore. Thank you, Octillery. You're my best friend. This is here where we're going to probably have to go... We don't need the Remoraid anymore. We have the Xerneas. And let's nuzzle. So slow going, but we're starting to get set up. Opponent came at us pretty hard in the beginning. He has a huge Mega Mewtwo EX. Now he's got to spend some time leveling them up or getting the energies going. Hopefully that's going to give us enough time to get a decent little bench. And Ninetales is in the grave, so we're not going to be able to lock the stadium. But we can kind of just aim on always having 5, and then if we can get big for a big hit, then we'll kind of, you know, try to set more. But we don't want to get too aggressive and have them disappear. And we're not going to use... Actually, I guess we'll go ahead and get Bridget. Zoro. Just for the types. And the Shuppet. Oh, had to do it. Had to get it done. Because we didn't want to use the Sycamore. Since we still have this double colorless. And we can hard retreat this Pikachu next turn. Oh no! And there it goes. We have any double items? No, we do not. So I guess we will go ahead and get rid of the Pikachu. And I guess the Vulpix, since we can't do anything with the Vulpix. And the Shuppet, since we have a Shuppet in our hand. Which we'll probably have to discard with the Sycamore anyways, but oh well. And let's see here. Opponent uses the Shauna. Luckily, we're able to hit off of these nuzzle attacks. Now, the thing is, I don't want to bring in this Xerneas and then have him come in with the Mewtwo. So it's going to be interesting how we play this. Guess we can go ahead and use Octillery. Try to grab a stadium. No stadium here. We'll go ahead and Shauna. And we can evolve that. So that's nice. And I guess I kind of want him to be able to retreat. Let's just keep nuzzling though. If he can't retreat, then he could maybe use a switch, but we missed anyways, which is kind of what we want to do. I want him to bring out that Mewtwo EX. Fortunately, we're only going to have 4 types on our bench. Let's see if he... Okay, he does hard retreat. Let's hope... if our opponent has a Lysander, then he will basically have game. He didn't attack with the Lysander. So that's fortunate for us. We're going to bring forward. So even with him being so far ahead, we're going to be even in prizes, which is pretty unbelievable. Let's go ahead and break the stadium. I guess we'll set them all, since we'll just get rid of the doubles, whatever we have that doubles later. Use this Octillery. We are going to be getting very close to decking out, though, so that's something to keep in mind. And let's level ball just to see what's in here. The Vulpix, the Dodrio. We don't have... Oh yeah, we still have... Or the Dodo. We don't have the Vulpix though, huh, on the bench. So keep that. We have... If they were to break our stadium, that's going to be a grass. That's going to be 4. So we can go ahead and put him down and do Rainbow Force for 160. Opponent takes a seat, and now we even up on prize cards. What's awesome is we do have a Lysander in hand, so we can probably pick off a Shaman. We aren't going to be big enough to get the Mewtwo, but we may want to start attacking him just to put the damage. We can expect our opponent to start energy accelerating with the Landorus. So we'll see if he has some sort of... how many Versus Seekers have been played? We have not played a Versus Seeker. So what we can do is go after a Shaman, and then just try to hopefully get a Versus Seeker off prizes or a draw, and then go after the final Shaman. Thinking that's going to be our strategy right now. Because I don't want to bring him out. I don't know. Now that I say it, it sounds like it could be a good idea. So here's what's going on in my head. We can take out a Shaman, get 2 prizes, and then hope for a Versus Seeker. So that's kind of iffy. Or we can bring out the Mewtwo to do big amounts of damage. If he gets an energy drop, he can kill us, and then we will have the Zoroark to finish him off. Then the only problem with that is Zoroark is weak to fighting, so all the Landorus would need is a Muscle Band to kill us. So I think what we are going to do is go with my initial strategy. Bring out the Shaman, get the kill. I mean, we should have 3 left, right? So we should be drawing 1. Oh, and look at that. So right now we're looking good. Opponent's down to 2 prize cards. The Xerneas is kicking a lot of butt. He had the Psychic Energy, as I was expecting. And now even if our opponent gets rid of the Sky Field, that's not going to hurt this guy so much, because we're going to be able to go in and attack that Shaman. As you can see, we had to kind of slow play it, but with a little patience, the deck can really put the hurt down. So we're going to get rid of all the doubles that we have of things. The Combi, and I think these are all the same type. So I guess we'll get rid of... I don't want to get rid of the Xerneas. We'll get rid of the Vulpix. Didn't want to, since he had an energy on him, wanted to be safe and keep guys that have energies. Opponent did use the Giovanni scheme, so we aren't going to be seeing a Lysander on the Zoroark. and we're not going to be seeing a judge or anything of that sort. So I think we got the win. So you can see, like, you know, sometimes you have to kind of play it slow, but when you're only giving up one prize card per kill, you can afford to take it slow and build up the bench. So now we have the Zoroark. This person had a really big beefy, and there's the other one. Now you come to us. Person had a big beefy monsters, but with our rainbow guard, we were able to take him down. And we'll see the big Zoroark hit. Mind Jack for 160. You see, both of our Pokemon are doing big hits. And there we have it. The Rainbow Guard. Awesome, awesome deck. People just don't really see it coming. We weren't even able to get our Ninetales lockout, which makes things go even smoother. But let's go ahead and look at the stats. The MVP was Xerneas Mewtwo EX. See, so with that big Mega Mewtwo EX, he did 200 damage, the biggest attack. We did 190 with our little basic Xerneas. And we did about the same damage dealt to him, even though he had big eyes. So, yeah, I'm loving this deck. It's a lot of fun. I definitely recommend it. If you wanted to switch it up a little bit, I was thinking you could probably take out the Banette, maybe put some unknowns in just for more draw power, and then just keep them on the bench if you need to attack. So that's maybe the one change I might do, but I really like shutting off people's Spirit Links. So, yep, there it is. There's the deck. Awesome, awesome, really fun, hits for a lot. I definitely recommend checking it out, and if you have any recommendations or decks that you'd like to see me do, please leave a comment in the box below, like and subscribe. Please like, so we'll do some more videos of these, and I have some more breakthrough sets coming up. Alright, until next time, we'll see you then. Peace.